You've got a text, right? Written in stone. But then you have centuries of whispers, of interpretations. What happens when those whispers start to sound, well, completely different from the original text? That's what we're digging into today. We're looking at a pretty explosive argument from our sources that the oral tradition in Judaism wasn't just interpreting the Torah, it was actively trying to change it. Let's dive in.
So think about this for a second. What if the very system designed to protect a sacred text was actually used to, well, to rewrite it? It's a wild thought, right? It's like the security guards are the ones changing the paintings in the museum. This is the central question our sources are forcing us to ask.
And boom, there it is. This is the core accusation from the source material, and it's a heavy one. It's not just saying the oral tradition got it wrong. It's saying it intentionally tries to make people not follow the written text. That's a huge claim. So how on earth do they back this up? Let's get into the evidence.
All right, first up, case file number 1. We're talking about the Sabbath boundary. Now, according to the sources we're looking at, this isn't just a simple little reinterpretation. Nope, this is a complete overhaul of a very specific one-time command.
Okay, so let's break this down. In the Torah, the written text on the left, you get this line, "Let no man go out of his place on the seventh day." Now, context is everything, right? This was a direct order from Moses to the Israelites in the desert. Why? Because they kept trying to gather manna, that miracle bread, on the Sabbath, when they were explicitly told there wouldn't be any. It was a very specific problem. But then, look at the right side. The sages, the oral tradition, took that one-time, very specific don't go look for manna rule and turned it into this huge, universal, permanent law about not leaving a boundary on any Sabbath ever. That led to all these super complex laws of Eruv. See the jump?
So that's the argument right there. A temporary, very practical order, hey, stop going out to look for food that isn't there, gets blown up into this massive, permanent legal system with imaginary lines and fences. According to the sources, this is Exhibit A in a pattern of, well, completely changing the rules. Let's see what's next.
Okay, case file number 2. This one is about laws versus, believe it or not, clothing. We're looking at the rule about not following the ways of other nations. And if you thought the last one was a stretch, the sources say this one is even more blatant.
So the Torah is pretty clear. It says, "You shall not walk in the statutes of the nations." That Hebrew word chukot, it means laws, like legal systems, decrees, the official rules of a society. Pretty straightforward, right? Don't adopt their legal frameworks. But then the sages come along and say, oh, no, chukot doesn't mean their laws. It means their clothing, their haircuts. Suddenly, a major legal principle is all about fashion.
And this is where the source just lays it out on the table. They ask, basically, what does statutes have to do with clothing? It's a rhetorical question, and the implication is nothing. They're not saying this was an innocent mistake. The argument is that this was a deliberate switcheroo, taking the focus off of something big, legal systems, and putting it onto something much smaller, what you're wearing.
And for our third and final case file, let's talk about something really personal, saying thanks after you eat, the blessing after a meal. And honestly, this is where the accusation from our sources gets its sharpest teeth.
The written Torah seems crystal clear on this one. It's written directly to you, in the singular. You shall eat, you shall be satisfied, and you shall bless. It feels like a very individual, personal responsibility, right? But the oral tradition introduces this thing called zimun. It's a group blessing, where one person leads and everyone else just listens and says amen. And that's it. They're off the hook. Their obligation is considered fulfilled.
And here we get to the core of the accusation. The source doesn't pull any punches. It calls this a malicious intention. The claim is that this ruling wasn't just a convenient shortcut. It was designed to get people to stop performing an explicit commandment. Instead of 3 or 10 or 100 people all doing what the text says, you now have just one. It's presented as a direct plan to nullify a commandment from the Torah.
So let's step back for a second. We've got the Sabbath boundary, foreign laws becoming foreign fashion, and a personal blessing becoming a group activity. According to the sources we're examining, these aren't just random, isolated examples. They're pieces of a puzzle that point to a deliberate pattern.
And when you lay it out like this, you can really see what they're getting at. You take a specific command and make it a general rule. You take a law about legal systems and turn it into a rule about clothes. You take something every single person is supposed to do and make it something only one person has to do for the group.
The source argues that this isn't just interpretation. It's a playbook. It's a method. And once you see it, they claim, you can't unsee it.
So this all leads to a massive question, doesn't it? The sources we've explored tonight put a revered, ancient tradition on trial, accusing it of fundamentally rewriting the very text it claims to uphold. It leaves us with this huge dilemma. When an ancient text and centuries of tradition smash into each other, who wins? Which one gets the final say? The original words carved in stone, or the whispers of tradition that, as we've seen, have the power to change everything?